Services, concrete and corrugated bridges, box culvert construction, contract for hauling, scrap metal, not scrape metal, that's Scribner's error, scrap metal bids and other supplies or services to be effective April 1st, 2022. So let's start off. These are the bids we did receive, and we have a tabulation sheet in front of you that was provided by the auditor's office. That bid tabulation sheet breaks down precinct 1, precinct 2. It's hauling bid tabulation for the 4 precincts first. Then they talk about fuel surcharges in some of these. Then the road-based bid tabulation from multiple different suppliers. It'll be Arnold Crushed Stone, Rattler Rock, Connor Crushed Stone, Monarch Mountain. Martin Marietta did not bid, Vulcan Construction did not bid this year. Then we have our asphalt oil bid, which is a road building material. Steel pipe bid, which is a road building material. Again, the company for that is Wilson Culverts and Advanced Drainage Systems. Bid a couple of those sizes. Bridge and concrete, again, we have a single bidder, it's Mr. Yoder. Fuel bids, again, those vary by precinct. So let's start off with the hauling bid for precinct number 1. Precinct 1, you've got hauling bids. It appears, looking at this, Yannick and Whitten Construction LLC is the cheapest by a substantial amount because A, they have no fuel surcharge, and on 0 to 10 miles, they're the lowest at $5. On the 81 to 90 miles, they are the lowest at $7 or $17.85. And that the competition are 20, 25, 20, and 25 for that. So that is precinct 1 of your. Okay, so Yannick and Whitten, make a motion to approve Yannick and Whitten Construction for the hauling bid for Hill County Precinct 1. Is there a second? There's a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Precinct number 2, it's the same story. Yannick and Whitten is by far and away the cheapest, and they have no fuel surcharge.
I can't remember.
I understand. You got the lowest and best bid. It's the lowest and best bid. It's not just the lowest bid. So on that, you've got Hillsboro Sand and Gravel, not Sandal. I don't know what I was thinking. And then Alltech Sand and Gravel have the same price at $7 a ton at 0 to 10 miles, and then 81 to 90, the highest there at both $20 a ton. But they also have fuel surcharges. And they kind of break down how those fuel surcharges down on the back here.
And
Period, fuel surcharges. And it breaks down the application and talks about range.
well, I can still use sand and gravel if I don't haul over $50,000.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We went out for bid, and so we have to pick the low bidder, or lowest and best bid, not the low bidder. I'm clarifying that, the lowest and best bid. That being said, the only way I think we get around using the lowest and best bidder is if for whatever reason they cannot fill the bid. If they can't perform like they said they could perform, you ask for trucks and they don't show up for trucks, then I think we have an argument that we need to go to another one. But now, once we did this, we lock ourselves into that part that's instructive. Not a lot of wiggle room.
I'll leave it open.
Okay, you're not gonna accept any of the bids for hauling? All right, so reject all bids for hauling for Hill County Precinct 2. Is that your motion, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we will reject all bids for hauling for Hill County Precinct 2. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Well, he won't.
He's gonna be calling you.
50,000. Yeah, it's gonna go 50,000 on kind of home. But historically, precinct 2 doesn't realize it's at home. They just don't. So as long as he's under 50,000 on any of that, he can use what he needs to. All right, so that's bid number 3. I'm sorry, precinct number 3, and you have the same deal. Yannick and Whitten is the low bidder. There's a Trucks Unlimited from Randy Fusey out of Malone. Then on the low end, 0 to 10 miles is $5, and then on the high end, though, Yannick and Whitten is $17.85, and this Trucks Unlimited is $22.50. Alltech is $25. Alltech Sand, 2 job site $25. Alltech Sand and Gravel $20. Hillsborough Sand and Gravel is $25 to the job site and $20 to the 81 and 90 miles to the barn.
Make a motion with Yannick and Whitney.
Okay. We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
No,
Sorry.
not for a second. Yeah. All right, so there's a motion, and a second to approve a hauling bid for precinct 3 for Yonke Wood Construction LLC. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Then hauling bid tabulation for precinct number 4. Yonke Wood. All right, is that your motion, sir?
Second.
There's a second around here, I heard. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Yonke Wood, precinct 4. There you go. All right, road base. I recommend that we accept, because road materials, we can accept all bids based on quantity, quality, and availability. So that's road materials. That doesn't apply to hauls. It doesn't apply to crushing. It applies to rock, base, chip seal, oversized, things like that. Oils, it applies to, and it'll apply to steel culverts. In the past, hasn't been a problem. Several years, we've had a single bidder. We actually had 2 this year on steel culverts. So it would be my motion that we accept all road-based bids based upon quality and availability.
Second, sir.
Motion is second. Any further discussion on road-based bids? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. The next one's going to be asphalt bid tabulation. We have Texas Materials did not provide bids this time. Aragon Asphalt provided bids. Sustainable Pavement Tech provided 1 bid for a type D hot mix. And I'm sorry, and for our recap high performance cold patch. P Square Emulsions provided bids, Wright Asphalt and Cleveland Asphalt. Further, that's it. Again, as a road building material, I believe we can accept all bids and want based on quantity, quality, and availability, and I recommend we do so.
Second.
A motion and a second to accept all asphalt, oil, emulsion bids based on quantity, quality, and availability. Is there any further discussion? If not, yes, ma'am.
Here we want to add price, to quantity, quality, the
Yeah.
availability, and the price.
And price, sure, I will amend my motion to price. So. All right, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. So steel pipe, these are culverts, what we're talking about. And used to Wilson Culverts was kind of the only game in town. We now have Wilson Culverts and an advanced drainage system. Advanced drainage has a couple of corrugated steel pipes they bid on. Again, it's a road construction material, and I would recommend that we accept all bids based on quantity, quality, availability, and price.
Second.
Motion is second.
I think they mainly do a lot of quality.
That's what it looks like, all polypropylene pipe, which is a little bit different. We're gonna need to change that way that we bid this. We say steel pipe, but we actually advertise for all types of culverts, including polypropylene. I'll make a note for next year's bid that we do so accordingly. All right, motion to second, any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thanks, as fast as I can.
Where are we at?
Richardson. Yoder Bridge, that's the next one. And it's our only bid for bridges and concrete box culverts.
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion to accept bid from Yoder Construction, Yoder Bridge, Paris, Texas, construction of bridges and concrete box culverts. Wow. Yeah,
He's
price
increased a little bit.
of materials is going up, isn't it?
I'm looking at 7 by 20 by 20, 710,000. A double box cover.
Wow. That's gotta be a typo.
Yes, yeah.
That's a typo. Yeah, it's 71. That's a typo. I'll point that out. to
I
you.
mean, on the bill.
We do not accept this bid for 7 by 20 by 20 box culverts. I'm gonna
Yeah.
point that out right now. That's a typographical there. All right, motion and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Fuels, offsite and delivery. So precinct 1, what be your druthers?
Well, I spoke briefly with Susan about this. I think, I don't know much else.
No fuel for you. This is next. Yeah.
I have not had any problem with Stella. They put a our filters on our systems.
Yeah.
Everything's good. I don't know that I wanna put on-site fuel. Because it tends to walk off more.
That's the catalytic converter off the side of the tractor, they rip you off your fuel, no doubt.
Yeah.
Especially with gasoline.
And the way it's going now with the price of fuel, I don't know that I want to do that, and it's gonna generate more paperwork and so we gotta do fuel reports. Y'all do fuel reports?
Mhm.
That's kind of a pain, but for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And we're going to the rock pit anyway. And Scott Oil is right there on the way.
No, it's fine with me, I got no dog in this hunt, so if you're interested in doing business, Scott Oil, I'll be honest with you, their accounting system is nice, because we get a report, which is where everything is, at the end of the month, so what it went into, so.
They've done a lot of improvements. There was some problems with their stuff for a while. They've done a lot of improvements.
Okay. So you're recommending Scott Oil for off-site bid for fuel for Hill County Precinct One?
I am.
Okay, and that, how do we word this properly, Susan? Because you gotta have the fleet man card as well, because those times are outside of Hill County. Scott Oil was just that one location. But if they're going to conference or something like that, do we also include the,
I don't know that the precincts, do y'all have a fleet card?
your fleet card?
Well, they take it from the state active.
Okay, so nobody has a fleet card? So you have one? Okay.
I'm fortunate, I have a transfer tanking truck. I mean, I put the use and then go where I need to go.
Ooh, boy, okay. Enough missions board. So that being said, good. So we just need to take action. You made a motion to accept the bid for precinct one from Scott Oil. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor of approving off-site fuel from Scott Oil for County Precinct One, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion going to carry unanimously. Number two, precinct two.
I will go with both of them. I use on-site and off-site.
All right, who for your on-site
Big check,
and who for your off-site?
independent.
Okay, so there's a motion from Hill County Precinct Two, Commissioner Crumpton, to use Big Check Oil for on-site fuel and Independent Oil Company for off-site fuel.
If we get into a bind like we did last week, had to use independent for off-site.
That's what I'm saying, using independent for offset, yeah. It's just important to do so. You gotta have that backup, because we have had problems in the past. trying to
Yeah.
get fuel. All right,
Make a motion.
Second.
motion is second, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Independent.
Independent oil, on-site?
On-site. On-site.
On-site, gotcha.
We're gonna use off-site, so.
That's right, okay, good deal. Sorry, I gotta remember this every time we do this. I'm only 15, 16 years in now, I'll get it one day. All right, we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to utilize Independent Oil Company, Hill County Precinct Three for on-site fuels. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Precinct number four. Okay, and all fuel from there?
Yes.
Okay.
Other than my card.
So you have a fuel man card as well?
Yes, I just use it for my pickup.
Okay, so we need the iTasker for the in-county, and then basically we're using these fuel men when you're out of county?
Then I use it sometimes.
I don't know if you can do it. The way we did it with Susan. We'll make a ruling on that.
Yeah, sometimes I get the pickup and it's low,
Yeah,
and I can fill up right there about close to the house, or just drive all the way out past it. Drive 25 miles on that trip to buy gas.
I haven't seen those advertised. I mean, typically we've said that the good part for it.
that's exactly what
Okay, can I use independent oil for on-site? They're both of them on-site.
yeah. That's fine, yeah. Well, one's on-site, one's off-site. It's how we advertise for bid, is one for on-site. AKA like, Commissioner has fuel tanks in his
Both of
yard.
them be on-site.
What would be on-site? What would be the second one?
I task is.
That's all, that's also, here, outside is if you've got fuel tanks on your yard, so they're coming to fill up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, forgive me for what I take.
So you want to use independent for offsite?
They also use the fuel fleet, so I'm confused now. guys.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to fill up at the location either way. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, how we advertise and traditionally defined onsite is the yard, county precinct farm. That's onsite. Anything away from the precinct farm has been offsite. We can change that definition in the future when we go out for bid, for sure, if all parties agree up front and say that, hey, we're going to do this. But we didn't advertise it that way now, so the question is, moving forward, what do we accept for bid today?
Just go up, I guess.
Driver what?
Yes.
So onsite, so
Use the code.
he's looking for in county, because obviously you guys have conferences you have to attend, things like that. You fill the truck out, conference, somewhere it takes place to get there and back. There's contingents, there's emergencies. We also understand that sometimes an emergency, you guys are in the middle of somewhere you can't get back, you don't have time to. So we need to make sure you're available to those circumstances. The way we bid this has been changed several times over the years to try to make it more doable for everybody. It's just a matter of trying to apply the way we bid this. And we went out for bid back in February of this, and part of it is we talk about what that bid looks like and how we word that in paper. So in the future, if we want to change how we bid this, I'm all about that. We just have to advertise it the same way as we bid it and take action on it the same way we bid it. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to use Itasca for any county fuel, I have no problem with that whatsoever. If you want to use the fueling part for out of county fuel, I don't think there's an issue with that.
What does the sheriff's department use theirs for the county?
They do, but it's the only fuel vendor they accept is the fleet fuel, unless they change their mind here in just a second when I ask them. The only fuel vendor they accept is the fleet fuel. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're going out of town. Unless you're going out of town.
Well, you know, sometimes you're out running around and in the day, you go home and then the next morning you're out.
Well, if you leave the city limits, precinct 3, which you cross one road. No.
You know, saying,
Well, I mean,
it's
going,
fine, it's fine.
okay,
I'm trying to. That's not a big deal.
I'm trying to think of where I was going. I think I'm looking for future finance or budget. Because of the way it's gonna.
That's fine.
All right, so there's a motion, I guess, from precinct 4 to accept, our task to co-op as their all-site fuel operation.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion on this issue? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, any abstentions, motion carries. Chief, you got one accept fleet man again?
Yes.
Okay, the sheriff's office wants to use fleet for fuel men, and I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussions? Not all in favor say aye. Aye. Sheriff's Department, constables, you guys don't use anywhere near $50,000 worth of fuel, so we don't bid you. Tom doesn't use $50,000 worth of fuel, so we don't bid that. We buy the fuel locally in both those departments at Independent Oil because it's convenient for us. That's where we do a lot of business at. The other one is the Hill County Maintenance Vehicle and the Veteran Service Officer. Again, those individual offices don't get anywhere near 50,000 in fuel, so they are not bid. And then the 911 falls on your department, so
Could you use a fuel in for it?
I guess technically she could if she's.
But she lives in Everett, I guess she
No, she got to use a fuel man card on that one because she's not actually under your road and bridge. She's just your employee to control, but she's under her own separate budget. So I will say fleet man card for her. So, and again, it's $4,500. It's not near $50,000 bid, so it's not necessarily a bid. All right, that takes care of the bids we did receive, which leaves a lot of people scratching their heads. There's some bids we didn't receive. We did not receive a bid for scrap metal this year. So since we didn't receive one, I'm going to try to go out and solicit a bid for scrap metal, be it from either folks down here at Frank's or Lipschitz and Company in Waco. And as soon as I get somebody, solicit a bid, I'll go from there. But what I'm getting at is because we don't currently have a bid, don't just haul stuff down to Frank's at this point. Because that current bid expires the 30th day of March. 8 days from now. So just giving a heads up on that. All right, those are the bids. So let's move just along to number 22. Discuss an action placing a stop sign on corner Hill County Road 3110 and HCR 3206.
I just want stop signs all along.
Man, is that a motion for a stop sign?
Yes, sir.
Motion and second for a stop sign. A discussion, how are you gonna keep that sign there?
Don't care.
I got you.
I will fulfill the request and that's all I'm worried about.
All right, we have a motion and second.
Which side you gonna put it on?
3206, it'll stop traffic options. It should stop traffic on 3206.
Like I said, it should.
We had a yield,
Passport sign that way when we steal it.
Yeah. Yeah,
we had a yield sign, but
can't keep them up.
I know 3111 and 3110.
Yep.
1517, I put it up a dozen times, people kept stealing it, and I got a bleach jug. I put over the post up, HCR 1417, it's been there 3 years, nobody stole
Just challenge somebody.
It's not reflective. It is, we put some of that.
Oh, you did?
I don't prosecute that one when they steal it, we find it. I don't want that. All right, so we have a motion to second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next, we have discuss and or approve credit application for refrigeration environmental systems. That is a credit application that
23, 24, and 25 were our jail, we were having an issue with the jail boiler.
okay. And Jerry's our hero. They condemned our boiler and Jerry figured out how to make it work again. It's certified by TDLR, don't worry, but anyway, he figured out there was a part missing. Yeah. But we're still going to have to replace the boiler, yeah, guys. That's something that we're looking at right now. They're talking 6-month lead time to get that boiler as a boiler, nope.
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks, I forgive me, I misunderstood. Will we have that on order already?
Yes.
Good deal. That's gonna be a hickey we didn't really anticipate, but at the same time, it's a 20-year-old boiler. Those things don't last forever, they wear out, so. At least it's working at the moment. What's that?
Don't say that.
What are they called?
Well, it depends. We got one bid, that's one fix, it's about 28 grand, and the other one was 42. We're going with the local vendor, 28,000.
Quiet takes care of this. We really, I can't say enough about Quiet Refrigeration, how well they treat the county, so. Yeah. All right, well, we have, okay, let's go through these real quick. So 23 is credit application for refrigeration environmental systems. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. And next is 24, discussion approved credit application for Rushco Energy Specialists. That's our customer account application.
Make a motion.
Second motion, is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Okay. All right, here's that. That takes us next to 25, discussion and or action allowance of credit card for use of emergency charges in the jail. Obviously, we have problems like boilers go down. If it's at the courthouse, we've got an hour or two to deal with it. If it's the jail, it's an immediate problem, it's an immediate necessity to fix it. And not being a part of our policy previously, it's difficult for us to use credit cards to access things in a moment's notice. I would like to amend our credit card use policy to allow credit card use for emergency charges in the jail. Obviously, those always go through our financial people, so it's not just the jail is saying, hey, this is the emergency. But, credit card is kept by the treasurer's office, audited by the auditor's office, and I think it's a transaction just to make it available on our policy to the jail anytime they have an emergency.
24 years ago, did we approve credit cards for the commissioners? 3 or 4 years ago? Y'all remember that?
I'll have to look that up.
You were,
I remember discussion, I don't remember.
I thought we approved this.
I'm talking about doing that.
Yeah.
And what's the credit limit?
Well, the limit's limited by the card. So the card credit limits are,
3,000 to 5,000.
yeah, so it needs to be limited by the card. And then I was asked what you can find for emergency. I don't want to put a hard and fast definition on it. I trust the people we work with, the people that folks in Hill County have elected. They do a great job with their budget overall. So I believe they know what an emergency is and what's not an emergency. I need some new licorice sticks in the middle of the night, obviously not an emergency. We need a part for a boiler, so the jail commission doesn't shut us down and depopulate us, totally an emergency. But I think that, our financial people have been very good about covering those. And if there's a question, I'm sure they'll call Mr. Holmes from now on and ask him for that definition. So, any other questions on the subject? None? All right, I call the, we have a motion, second?
Not yet.
No.
Motion.
Motion.
Thanks.
And a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Next is discuss other action on proposal for security camera for Hill County Precinct 1 Annex. Mr. Cantrell, what do we got?
Yes, sir. We have a proposal from it's LSI Logical Solutions for its 5 quad cameras for the 4 outside corners and 1 in the bay back there, and then 2 directional cameras internally, 1 facing the front door and 1 in the courtroom. And that includes it's like a cloud-based security panel. So it's got, instead of having a physical, so all these cameras are Bosch cameras. Tom is the one that recommended them to me. Tom's more familiar with them than I am. They all have a 500 gigabyte onboard card. Basically, they can record video on each camera, and then they can upload it to the cloud, and anybody can log into that cloud interface and see what's going on with their hero. It also comes with a kind of a cloud-based alarm panel, where basically these cameras can detect the difference between a dog versus a human, and they can trigger on the detection of a human walking by and send out an alarm. So, and that is that's the proposal. Yes, sir.
That is more overstated than reality.
Okay.
So. But also they put the cameras in the warehouse, they wouldn't raise it high enough where we could see what was coming in a lot on the road.
Okay.
Because he said that the cars would be constantly setting off the motion.
But you can go in the camera frame, it's pixelated, you can pick on which pixels you want to act on, which not, it's just a matter of setup. Quite frankly, I recommend everybody do that, because the stuff above the tree line, that's just taking up extra space on your hard drive, you can just take up. Expense. I know my personal camera system, we put around the house in the barn. Originally, I had about 7 days, and that was it for the system's full. We went back in and started knocking down what was actually recording, that moved it to about 35 days. So it didn't take much to really expand the system. What was the price tag on this one?
It was 20,000 and change, Judge, if I remember correctly. We did one change I asked to be made. They were going to provide their own switches that were going to power those cameras. We're going to do that in-house, save a little bit of money there. So
These cameras will cover the entrance into that facility. They'll cover down the north side of the building with two directions, because the length of the building, both the east and the west. So that covers the septic, the well, air conditioning. It's going to cover the back of the building, which will cover the word generator, the back door from 2 angles. It'll cover out the yard, cover your yard next door, building inside, it'll cover everything that comes inside the main building. Then in the front, you'll have anybody coming in at the front door, and anybody in the front will be caught. On that front southwest corner, it's going to catch the driveway. It's going to have one that shoots down towards the front door from the outside, same thing from the northwest corner. And then it'll shoot over your building and watch the doors and egress out of yours. It's going to be a pretty comprehensive system. We try to reduce the number of cameras to as few as possible. The system can be expanded in the future if we find holes in it, but we're going to put $1 million worth of equipment over there, people's lives, safety. And I think in this day and age, we just have to have the ability to record what's going on in those facilities. I know it's an expensive number, but it's well worth it in my mind. Yes, it costs, since you'll be working up there, what's your thoughts?
I did have a question in regard to to monitoring of those cameras. There was some conversation back during the conduction of it, that a percentage of those cameras would be monitored at remote locations such as the dispatcher or.
So we went over to the sheriff's office, Chief may remember, it's been a couple of weeks ago, we visited with the folks in dispatch. Yes, we can install, we'll probably have to install a separate computer and a separate monitor up on the wall so that they could, so the folks in dispatch could monitor that facility. There is the ability for that system to send an alarm that would, because obviously the dispatchers are doing their job, they're gonna be working within their CAD software. But there will be a trigger that will pop up something on the screen, basically, hey, pay attention to the Huron cameras, because they're not gonna be looking at that. in the normal part.
Just to point this out, this is the same system we put at the fairgrounds, and we still have to install a monitoring device in your guys' dispatch as well. So same system, same deal. So that one device will be Huron and the fairgrounds cameras as well.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
And our 30 up and down bandwidth will accommodate this.
Yes, yes.
That's all I have to.
Good. Commissioners, your thoughts? Motion and a second to approve the bid from LSI for cameras at the 5800 FM 933 facility located in Huron, Texas. Call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Number 27, discussion action on posting notice of adding First and Second Street in Irene, Texas, to Hill County Road Maintenance Map. We've had a request to address Second Street's already on our map. Second Street's already on our map, but First Street in Irene. Irene is an unincorporated town on the east side of the county, you guys may be familiar with. And we've been trying to attempt for some time to help people in Irene deal with the native flooding problem they have. We've done what we can do, removing trees, bar ditches, cleaning that stuff out. Commissioner Lake's gone over and above to get those things done. However, that's not the only problem to it. We've been working with the NRCS to try to divert water out of fields to the north away from the town, working with TxDOT about increasing flow of water out of town to the south through their culverts, generally trying to get those people some relief. And when I say flooding, guys, there's a lady over there, front porch is about the height at the top of this table, and regularly that water will be up in that porch. It's bad. She can't get out to get her kids to school. And it looks dry as a bone, but it's a problem that's been there for a lot of years. We didn't create the problem, but I think we have a duty to our constituents to help solve it. Part of that is over by, there's a United States Post Office in Irene, Texas still, and that road is not a county road. It's debatable. It may have been maintained many years ago by the county, but we don't have the legal authority to do it right now. In order to get the legal authority to maintain First Street, we have to post that notice in Irene, and it's our recommendation that we post notice.
And this is only the part of the street in front of the post office. This is not all of First Street.
Okay. So where does that go from point to point? What road is that?
It goes from 308 to whatever the little paved street the highway department has in town, which is about 500.
That's that spur. Okay.
Some kind of
Spur,
spur that
and that's
runs
in
in.
46.
Spur 1946, because if in 1946 runs to the south, I think Spur 1946 runs into town.
But it runs up to Second Street and quits.
I've got the same thing. I've got the same thing in Bynum and Byron as well.
Yeah. So, okay, so we're gonna run about 550 feet of additional road that you're gonna put into. Okay.
He shot the coordinates, we'll post it to ends.
Okay, good. All right, anything further? Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second, motion and second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number 28, they didn't bring that, so that is a non-action item. That is another replat for White Bluff, but that particular plat deals with their chapel. They're working on that, they're gonna get it back to us, and they have it for action. Number 29, pursuant to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551071, 551087, Hill County Commissioners Court will convene an executive session to deliberate consultations with attorney and economic development. So at this time, we're going to clear the courtroom. When we come back, we'll have two action items. One is any action needed as executive session, and the